My father expects me to marry now, and it feels like there's a lot of pressure on me. He often talks about how important it is for me to settle down and start a family. I understand that he wants the best for me, but sometimes I feel overwhelmed by his expectations. I see him looking for signs that I am ready for marriage, and it makes me anxious. I think about the kind of partner I want and the future I hope to build, but I also worry that I am not meeting his timeline. There are so many things I want to achieve in my life before getting married, like focusing on my career and personal growth. I wish you could see that I need more time to find the right person and to feel truly ready for such a big commitment. I want my marriage to be based on love and understanding, not just to fulfill expectations. It's hard to balance my own desires with what my father wants for me, and sometimes I wish we could have an open conversation about my feelings. I want him to understand that finding the right partner is important to me, and I hope he can support me in making that decision when the time is right. As I navigate my father's expectations about marriage, I find myself reflecting on what it truly means to be ready for such a significant step. It's not just about finding someone to please him, it's about finding a partner who complements my life and shares my values. I want to be in a relationship that feels right, where both of us are committed to building a future together based on trust and respect. Sometimes I worry that if I rush into marriage to meet his expectations, I might miss out on discovering who I really am and what I truly want in a partner. I see friends who are taking their time, getting to know themselves and their partners deeply before making such a big commitment, and I admire that approach. I want to be sure that when I do marry, it's because I found someone I genuinely love and who loves me back in the same way. I hope my father can understand that my journey is different and that love should come naturally rather than feeling like an obligation. I want to reassure him that I value family and relationships, but I also need to find my own path. By taking the time to explore and grow, I believe I will eventually find the right person to share my life with, and I hope that will make him proud. I'm learning how crucial it is to have an honest conversation with my father regarding marriage as I attempt to express my feelings. I want to talk about how I feel about relationships and love, and how I think it's important to take the time to fully grasp who I am and what I'm looking for in a mate. Expressing these emotions isn't always simple, particularly when I know he has strong views on when it's appropriate to get married. I frequently find myself hoping we could have an open discussion about our viewpoints. I want him to know that my hesitancy isn't a rejection of his ideals or aspirations for me, but rather an attempt to make sure that the decisions I make are in line with my own preferences and objectives. Even if my path differs from his original plan, it would mean a lot to me if he could support me. I have faith that he will eventually realize that what really counts is my happiness. I want to reassure him that I will find love and get married when the time is perfect, not because I feel compelled to, but because I am prepared to fully commit to that relationship. I think we can improve our relationship and provide a supportive atmosphere for my future decisions by cultivating empathy and understanding. I consider how these demands may impact our relationship as I keep thinking back on my father's expectations for marriage. I worry that taking my time could cause miscommunications because I want to keep our relationship solid. I don't want him to think that I'm ignoring his requests or turning away from traditional family values. I value our relationship and want to demonstrate to him that my decisions are a reflection of my development as a person rather than a sign of disobedience. I want to stress that my journey may take a different shape, even though I understand that he may be concerned about my future and wants me to enjoy marriage and family life. I want my father to see that a strong foundation is built on mutual respect, love, and understanding rather than just following a timeline. I hope that through patience and communication, he will come to appreciate my perspective and realize that my happiness and readiness are what matter most. Ultimately, I wish to create a relationship with him that allows us both to express our thoughts and feelings openly, bridging the gap between his expectations and my personal journey toward love and commitment. Going forward, I'm determined to figure out how to reconcile my personal marriage goals with my father's expectations. As I examine relationships and personal development, I want to try to involve him in my path by sharing my ideas and experiences. I intend to allay his concerns and provide him insight into my decisions by maintaining open channels of communication. I need to let him know that I respect his viewpoints and that I greatly appreciate his support. I intend to engage him in conversations about my definition of love and the characteristics I look for in a mate. This way he can see that I am not dismissing the idea of marriage, rather I am approaching it thoughtfully. I believe that with time he will come to understand my perspective and appreciate the importance of waiting for the right moment to marry. I want him to feel included in my life decisions, as family is an essential part of who I am. I hope that this journey will not only help me find love, but also strengthen my relationship with my father, showing him that I am capable of making informed choices that reflect my values. Together we can create a space where we both feel heard and respected, allowing us to navigate this important aspect of life with love and understanding. As I think back on this experience, I see how important patience is while negotiating marriage-related expectations. I know my father's worries are motivated by love, and I want to respect that while being loyal to who I am. I must admit that there is no one-size-fits-all timetable, and that every person's journey to marriage is unique. I want to seize this moment in my life as a chance to discover my true self and goals. This process of self-discovery is essential to creating a solid and long-lasting partnership in the future. I hope my father can see that my journey is not about rejecting family values, but rather about understanding what I need to create a fulfilling life. I want to assure him that I will find the right time to marry when I feel prepared, and that I am committed to making choices that lead to a happy and successful marriage. By embracing this perspective, I believe I can maintain a strong relationship with my father while staying true to my own path. In the end, my goal is to create a balance between honoring his expectations and pursuing the love and life that resonate with my heart. I also realize how crucial it is to surround myself with understanding friends and mentors while I work through these complicated sentiments toward marriage and my father's expectations. Their support enables me to realize that I am not traveling this path alone, and that many others experience comparable difficulties related to familial expectations and connections. I've learned a lot from these discussions about other people's approaches to finding love and commitment. Hearing their tales encourages me to be loyal to who I am and serves as a reminder that it's acceptable to take my time. I value having a network of people that acknowledge my emotions and support me in pursuing my own goals without hurrying. I know that when the time is right, I will be able to share my happiness with my father and show him that my decisions are rooted in love and careful consideration. I also hope to inspire others who might be experiencing similar pressures to find their own voices and pursue what feels right for them. By fostering a community of understanding and encouragement, we can all navigate these expectations together, reminding each other that love should never feel like an obligation. As I continue on this journey, I remain optimistic that my father will eventually understand and support my choices, allowing me to grow into the person I am meant to be while still being a loving son. I also see the value of self-compassion during this process. As I consider my father's expectations for marriage, I have to remind myself that my journey is different from his, even though it's easy to be sucked into thoughts of guilt or fear about missing his deadline. I have to treat myself with kindness and accept that it's acceptable to take my time to solve problems. I'm building a meaningful future with every step I take to figure out what I want in a spouse. I remind myself that it takes time and introspection to find the right person and build a meaningful relationship. By focusing on my personal growth and allowing myself the space to explore my feelings, I can approach this significant decision with clarity and confidence. I hope that as I continue to cultivate this self-awareness, my father will come to see that my choices are not merely reactions to pressure, but are rooted in a genuine desire to build a happy and fulfilling life. Ultimately, I want to create a relationship founded on love and understanding, and I believe that with time, my father will appreciate the thoughtful approach I am taking. This journey of self-discovery is vital, not only for my future marriage, but also for my relationship with my father, as we both learn to embrace our perspectives while respecting each other's feelings. I feel excited about the future as I wrap up my reflections on my father's expectations and my personal sentiments regarding marriage. I think we can reconcile our differing viewpoints if we have the patience, understanding, and open communication to do so. I can see how much my father loves me, and I cherish the principles of commitment and family that he has taught me. However, I also want him to know that it's okay if my route doesn't look like what he had in mind. I'm resolved to take the time I need to find the ideal person to share my life and aspirations with. In this journey, I hope to demonstrate that love is about connection and understanding rather than simply meeting expectations. As we continue to navigate this topic together, I am optimistic that we can strengthen our relationship and support each other in our individual journeys. My father's encouragement means a lot to me, and I hope that in time he will feel proud of the decisions I make. Together, we can embrace this new chapter in our lives with love and respect, celebrating the unique paths we each take. I look forward to sharing my journey with him, knowing that, no matter what, our bond will remain strong.